and showed that Lil must where he from that he was that. So if they did it, and they did it, and they did it, then ain't no reason why you can't get it. No need to play.
What's going on, y'all? It's your man Jay White, first name, last name, Wealth Wednesdays after party with Jay White. If you don't know my man, to my right, your left, then you've been under a rock or you just don't play basketball. I'm here with the legend, the man himself, Mr. Boo Williams. How you doing, sir?
How you doing there?
I'm good. It's finally nice to meet you.
Good, man.
Now, you know you cut me in high school, right? I ain't make no team of yours.
Don't tell that about that.
But listen, man, I'm glad that you're taking out some of your day to have this interview, and I really appreciate it.
No problem.
So we're going to jump right into it. So we're at your sportsplex, the Boo Williams Sportsplex. Understanding from where you used to have your summer leagues to your growth, talk to me a little bit about your growth and where you are today.
We started in 1982. 1982 was a little different than it is now.
Yes, sir.
Basketball was much better than people don't know. I think basketball got worse rather than better.
I agree.
Back then when you came in 1999, you had Ronald Kerr and
I
Jason
did.
Capel.
Yep.
You get Ronald Kerr and Jason Capel now.
No, sir.
I mean, but I think we started playing outdoors.
Yeah.
Now you play kids outdoors, they charge you for child abuse.
Yeah, I got bad knees right now from hooping on the concrete.
We play outdoors, and we had a fiberglass basketball.
Uh-huh.
Then 2008, we built a sports facility with
Okay.
8 courts. So people, when they travel to tournaments, they didn't have to travel around. They just go to one location, and then they don't have to travel around. Try to make it easier, like one shop stop.
Was it difficult to get the plans together for the sportsplex? Like, how long did the plans take, and then to come to fruition at the same time?
5 or 6 years.
5 or 6 years?
Because when we was doing it, there weren't many people in the country doing stuff like this.
So it took about 5 or 6 years to get the sportsplex together. Did you have like a hard time getting investors or sponsors to help you out?
We had to get investors. We had 7 investors. And two of my close friends, and we got 7 investors that started. Now how these buildings are getting built, they're getting built by cities.
Yeah.
Cities are building these buildings now.
Yeah.
Back then, cities, they was just so new, nobody thought about building 8
Yes,
courts
sir.
or 12 courts in one facility.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So it was new.
So I'm loving what you're doing. I wish I would have been one of the calls to invest back in 2008, but we talk about that off camera. So how do you feel about the EYBL tournament being in your facility? And also talk about, two-part question, and also talk about what that's doing for the economics in Hampton Roads, Virginia.
No question, you have the economic. We got 250 teams, and you're looking at about 2,500 to 3,000 kids.
Whew.
And you know, girls bring a lot of people with them.
Yes, sir.
And the boys don't bring nobody with them.
Look, we just got interrupted by a girl, Miss O'Keisha Howard.
She can play now. But I tell you what, so they bring so many people with them. So they have the economics. They're here for 4 days. I think we got 90% of the teams travel.
That's amazing.
We got teams as far as California. We got 8 teams from California.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Talk to me a little bit about how even the league, the EYBL, even came and said, "Hey, we want to host this big tournament at your facility." Was that an easy thing, or did you have to lobby for it?
So we have a big boys and girls tournament. In 1985, we had a big boys and girls tournament.
Okay.
So we always had a big tournament. So once the EYBL started, they made this one of the stops.
Oh, amazing,
And
amazing.
since in 1985, we had a tournament, and then we used to play in Hampton, Newport News, Norfolk, Virginia Beach.
Yep.
We used to travel everywhere. Now these people want to do that now.
They just want to come to one spot.
One spot. Can you imagine them trying to do it now?
They just want to come to one spot, and that's all. That's
They want
it.
to come to one spot and sit down.
Yep.
They don't want to go. Can you imagine them driving going across that bridge back and forth?
It'll be nothing but complaints, missing games.
It'd be on social media.
Big time. I missed my game because I had to go from this bridge to that bridge. It'll be a mess.
But the EYBL was the first league out there. Now Adidas got a league, and I know I got a league. But it gave the kids a chance to play against the best kids in the country.
So let me ask you this, Boo, if I can call you Coach Boo. What made you want to be the focal point of basketball? Or was that even your main goal, to be the focal point of basketball in this area?
I mean, my main goal was to help get kids a scholarship. In 1982, when I started the program, I went to school in Philadelphia, St. Joe's. So I saw what Sonny Hill was doing. So I said, let me see if I can bring that back down here to Hampton Roads area.
Yes,
back
sir.
then they called Tidewater.
Tidewater, yeah. and then back then we had the area code 804.
804.
Yeah, and then
He was called Southside and Peninsula.
Mm-hmm.
Now everybody called 757.
Yes, sir.
But we always had talent in this area. This area always had a wealth of talent, but we needed something like this to put everything together.
Yep, yep.
And then we got lucky. We started, JR came around, people say, they must have talent. Then Alonzo followed that.
You talking about J.R. Reed?
J.R. Reed.
Yes, sir.
J.R. Reed from Virginia Beach. Then Alonzo followed that. And then when Iverson came, they made icing to the cake.
It was over.
It was over. And then you look at Ice, and then look at Allen and Joe Smith, back-to-back #1 draft choice.
Yep. Amazing. From this area.
From this area.
Now, Coach Boo, let me ask you, could you hoop back in your day?
I can't do it now, but back in the day, I could do a little.
You could do a little something back in your day?
Just a little.
That's amazing, Coach. So, you got your own sportsplex. What's next? What does the future look like for Boo Williams Sportsplex? What do you want to take it to?
I think the key thing, we got to develop the young kids, get young kids more involved, get the skills more about the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th graders.
Okay.
That's the key. And get the women basketball, get girls basketball back to where it needs to be.
Why so young, Coach? Like 6, 7, the middle school kids, like what's the focal point of getting them from there versus getting them when they're already in 10th, 11th grade?
You try to develop their minds and skill sets, mental aspects of the game.
Okay.
And if it was to me, we start at 1 or 2. we should, after baby born, we start because right now so much mental aspect of it.
Yeah.
And then, like I tell people, basketball is a game of life. It's only about 10% of the people go, not 1%, and 10% too.
That's too big, yeah.
1% of people gonna make the NBA.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, your chance to be better jump down off the bridge. But your chance to make it a game of life, the relationships and the discipline that you bring to the table is important.
So now, just to stay on that topic, so now we trying to develop the middle school kids so their mindset could be right, because now you got that NIL deals all across the board for amateur athletes and not even pros right now. So talk to me a little bit about how the Boo Williams program is helping with the NIL situations and contracts.
The NIL is so complicated. The one problem with NIL is unrealistic. Only a few people getting it. I had a kid the other day, let me tell you what.
Talk to me.
Kid said, I said important to tell them about education. Because education is still the most important thing.
I agree.
And when I talk to the kid about education, first thing he asked me, Coach, can I play? I said, what you mean? If you talking about education, I must not can play. I must not can play.
Coach, if you talking to me about graduating, I must ain't got no shot.
I must can't play. So we got to change the mindset. Because back in the, I won't say old days, back 10 years ago, and that went too far back, kids talking about going to school and getting a degree.
Correct.
I think we got to get back to that part. Because making that money is not, very few kids make that money.
Yeah.
Then if you don't know what to do with that money, you won't have the money long.
What does it take for a kid that has talent for people and big companies to want to give them an NIH deal? Like, what is they even?
Social media.
Okay.
How many followers you got?
What kind of presence do you have?
Two things change the game a lot. I tell people, social media and parents.
Man, parents for sure.
Parents half crazy.
Everybody think they child LeBron.
Oh, MJ, I mean these people are unrealistic.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not very talented, your husband won't very talented, or your wife won't very talented, how the hell you gonna be talented? Shit, that don't even add up.
It don't add up. That's 2 + 2 = 16. That ain't right. That ain't good math.
And I don't like to do math in public, but I'm telling you right now, that just not gonna add up.
Yeah. Because everybody's looking at what the possibilities are for sports and for student athletes. So now when you put your child through a program, or you can see that little Timmy can dribble the ball without dribbling off his foot, you think he a talent.
Yeah.
Then he bring him to you and you tell him you got to give him the real.
Yeah, and people don't understand that.
Then I want to quickly go into what is 1 or 2 things that most people don't know about Coach Boo Williams.
I'm a movie. I love watching movies.
Like what? Like not romantic comedies.
No, I'm a gangster.
Okay.
I love the gangster. I like the Godfather.
Yeah.
New Jack City.
Yeah.
All the Snowfall.
Oh man, yeah.
Harlem.
I rock with Snowfall, Coach. I rock. Yeah.
Ghost.
Okay. Yeah. Power and all that.
Power, yeah.
Y'all heard it here first. Coach Boo Williams like to watch Power. Give me one more thing, Coach, real quick, because a lot of people don't know that you were one of the first African-American State Farm agents in this area. Is that right?
I was the first in this area.
Sheesh. What was that like? I want to touch on that real quick.
Different. Back then, I guess it is, black folks back then, they won't think about hiring blacks in that type of position.
Mm-hmm.
And now that's changed. Now we got a lot of African Americans and ladies involved and all that stuff.
Coach, you're a trailblazer in more ways than one. Again, I appreciate your time. I know you got to get ready for your game. Can I suit up? Am I good now?
If you make a jump shot, you good.
Hey, y'all, that's my time, man. Wealth Wednesdays with After Party with Jay White. Catch this episode Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Coach Boo Williams, he got his game to go to right now, and I'm going to see y'all later. Peace.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Coach. I really appreciate it, man. You know you're a legend, a living legend.
Put that pressure on his back and showed that Lil must where he from, that he was that. So if they did it, and they did it, and they did it, then ain't no reason why you can't get it.